Hello people of YouTube, Tazai once more, the Crimson Assassin, here today to give you guys a follow-up / spoiler review for Monster. Now, this is obvious, okay, I don't feel like I have to explain it, but I kinda have to, but, warning, if you have not seen the anime Monster, please don't watch this video. I highly recommend you don't watch this video because I am going very in-depth about the anime Monster. It's a very awesome anime. It has a lot of dark themes and twists to it that I don't want to spoil and hindrance the anime for you. So I recommend you just don't watch the spoiler review for Monster. I recommend you just don't watch this at all. If you want to see a full review for Monster, I do have a spoiler-free review for Monster. You can go ahead and watch that. Excuse me. But don't watch this review if you don't want to be spoiled by Monster. Just giving you a heads up. I don't feel like I have to say it, but I'm going to have to say it anyway. Just to countermeasure myself. Just to be like, oh yeah, I said, don't watch it if you don't want to be spoiled. So, yeah. So, I'm giving you guys like 5 seconds to get the fuck out. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for those of you who are still here, you obviously either have A, seen Monster, or B, just completely disregarded my warning on, and you just wanted to hear me talk about spoilery things about Monster, in which that case, ask and ye shall receive, because I am going to spoil the living shit out of Monster. Well, not really everything, but I am actually going to finally go in depth to just mainly a few things, like mainly about the characters and the overall story itself. So, the overall story itself of Monster, I said it in like a summary before in the video, but there's a lot of in-depth things. Like there's a lot of things I kind of missed that I didn't say in the beginning because, well, like the events leading to the reveal of Johan was just fucking amazing, and it was just perfect build up. And yeah, but I'm just gonna be really talking about the characters in the anime. Like there's not really, like, when I'm thinking of a spoiler review, I have to think of like things that are really spoilery, and I have to think of the characters and the story. But I'm just going to mainly talk about the characters in regard, because I only really talked about 3 characters, but there's so many characters I can really talk about. So we're going to talk about the characters that I really didn't talk about. So I am going to go in more depth about Johan, okay, and why I think Johan is such a fascinating villain. Like, there's so many things that this man has done to make him just menacing and make him just an overall threat. Like, there's always, like, to me, every time I saw an episode of Monster, you kind of have to pay attention to what is happening because it can all link to Johan. And if you are really paying attention to what the anime is saying and how good the overall great writing this anime has, if you just pay attention to what they're saying, it all links to what Johan is doing. And it just fits perfectly. Johan is just a menacing villain. And there's just so many things that this character has done to make me just mindfuck me. Like, there's this one point in the anime, which, yes, a spoiler review, so I can say it. So, there's this one point in the anime where he poses as Nina, as, his twin sister. And it wasn't revealed until, like, 3 episodes after you see, like, you don't really know that he's, his sister, like, he's just, because he has a twin sister named Nina and freaking, or Anna, whatever you want to say. And, he makes himself look like her. He even wore female clothes and stuff, and you are to believe that that's really Anna or Nina or whatever, and you meant to believe that, oh, that's her, but you notice that the things that she is doing doesn't really seem like it's actually Nina, and what comes to find out that it's actually just Johan disguised as Nina because they look exactly alike, and I have no idea how he ended up, making him sound like her, but plot hole right there, but who cares? Yeah, and it completely mind-fucked me, like, whoa. And that's not just one thing. I will never forget this one scene in the anime where, they're in this burning library, and, because Johan was trying to kill this, he was trying to kill this one dude, but Kenzo ends up saving him, obviously, but that whole scene where it's just this huge burning library, and Kenzo was like right there. He was about to shoot Johan, and Johan's just walking. He's just walking. He's walking. Just keeps walking, and then like he doesn't. Kenzo ends up not shooting. He ends up running to save the person who he was supposedly trying to kill, and just that scene alone, just his radiance, just oh my god, Johan. And that's just scraping the surface of what this man has done in the anime. The first thing, the first cutscene with this man, it's in a dark, I don't know, freaking parking lot, and freaking, you know, he just shoots a man in cold blood, and Kenzo's like, no, why are you doing that? No! And then he's just like, I don't know. It was just, damn. I don't want to mess with this guy. Like you don't want to mess with Johan, okay? Like I said in the review, don't mess with this man. If I don't even be associated with this man, no, just no. Some of the other characters that I liked, like obviously Nina. I think that she's well developed character. You really empathize with her struggle and, you know, her whole conflict between trying to find out who she really was, because, you know, when you first meet Nina, she's in this adopted family, and, you know, her adopted parents end up dying because of this one dude, because Johan manipulated them, of course, and, you know, like, you really empathize with her character. You really end up kind of relating to her, and end up really rooting for her struggle, and I overall loved Nina. Some of the characters that I also liked were was actually this detective character that he's a reoccurring character. He's voiced by Bobobo. The Bobobo's voice actor voices him, and I thought that was fucking awesome. And he's this detective guy, and if he basically investigates the whole murders that's related to Tenma, and, you know, why is he framed for them and stuff. And he's very persistent. He's very, he's just a persistent guy. And I like how he thinks, actually. I like how he thinks, like, if you really go into depth of his philosophy, and he says this one quote in the anime, which, by the way, this anime is just chock filled with just memorable life quotes. It's awesome. But I remember the one quote that he says is that, you know, in order to find the truth, you have to, you know, doubt the one you love. And that's basically kind of his philosophy. And I find him to be a very fascinating character. He's so multi-layered, and he actually has a pretty good backstory, and he's an overall good developed character. I actually ended up liking him. His name was Loongay, and I ended up really liking him. He's an awesome character. Another character that I sort of liked, but at the same time didn't, was this little child character. His name is Dieter, and he kind of willfully joins Tenma in his journey of, you know, trying to find Johan, but, you know, he ends up, you know, ditching him later on. And not to say that he was a tacked on character. He served a purpose to the overall story, but just, you know, towards the end, he really doesn't do much in the way of story progression, and he's not really a good character. I mean, I liked him at first, but then, like, towards the end, you're just gonna be like, meh about Dieter. He's kind of a meh character. Now, some of the characters that I fucking despised. Ugh. I only think of two characters that I really just truly despised, and that was Kenzo's ex-fiance, Ava. She deserves to be on my top 10 worst female characters list of all time, because, my god, this girl's just annoying. She's just like, she plays this innocent card, like she plays like the victim, you know. Okay, that's what I meant to say. She plays the victim throughout, like, every episode you see her from. Like, oh my god, it's all Kenzo's fault that I'm like this, and she ends up playing this victim card, and she just comes off just as an annoying, selfish, just overall annoying. She's very whiny. She's very not evil, but she's just annoying. She's very annoying, and I hate her character. I hate who she is. And albeit she did serve a purpose, like I said, all the characters in the anime serve the purpose to the story. But every scene I see with her, I just cringe because, it's just bitches and whines and moans and tells everyone, oh, help me do this, or, and help me do that, and not really giving a damn. Like, fuck that bitch, man. I have no idea what Kenzo saw in her that fell in love with her in the first place, but thank God she's out of his hair. Or, yeah, her hair, whatever. Blech. Nah, I do not like this bitch whatsoever. She was just annoying. Hated her. Another character that I absolutely despise was this one character. He just shows up like out of random, like out of nowhere. He's kind of like this assassin. Not really assassin, but like he's just this dude that shows up periodically throughout the anime to just, throw a monkey wrench in Kenzo's way. And that's this guy named Roberto. Every time I see this guy, I just fucking cringe. I just fucking, like, oh my god, this guy is still alive. Why is he still alive? And, like, you were meant to believe that he was dead at one point, but he wasn't. He wasn't dead. He's just still alive. I'm gonna kill Kenzo. And it's just, fuck that guy. And it's just, he's very persistent. Like Loongate, just even worse. I'll admit something. I'll admit something about him. He is actually pretty menacing at times, but majority of the time I just end up cringing because, oh my god, it's this asswipe. And it's just, like, no, fuck, just no, you fat fuck. You fat fuck. And hell, I ended up, actually, at one point, I ended up kind of rooting for him because he was trying to kill Ava at one point. And I'm like, yes, kill that bitch. I'll root for you that one time. But no, Ava lives. So I'm like, goddamn. And, nah, just nah. That's the majority of the characters I kind of wanted to talk about. Now, regards to the story, okay? Regards to the story. Now, this anime has a lot of story arcs present in it, and there's one thing I didn't mention about, in my original review, but I am going to mention this in my spoiler review, that the pacing of the anime does end up becoming very slow at some point. Like, there are some moments in the anime that kind of drag on for way too long, and there's just some moments that kind of go by really quickly, and it's kind of weird. Like, I remember this, the first few episodes where you followed the college student and his endeavor and, who he really is and trying to find his true father and stuff, and that, that's a tie-in to another murder case that Johan was invented in, and at that moment, like, it was very slow. Oh, and by the way, that guy was voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, which I was fucking blown away, and in the English dubbed, of course, but, Carl, that's his name, Carl, and yeah, his whole story arc, I'll admit, it was very decent, and, it's a decent story arc, albeit a kind of cliche at one point, but it was still a good story arc, and, that was the arc that I mentioned before with Johan and the burning library and stuff, which was so fucking awesome, and, his story arc was okay, wasn't the best, but I think my favorite story arc in the anime was obviously the last few episodes, and that last arc in this village, and like I can't say it was this huge village, Ruinheim, and freaking towards the end, everyone in the village just started killing each other, and fucking it was just this huge massacre, and it was all plotted by Johan, and obviously, it was all plotted by Johan, because, he's the fucking villain, of course, so why, of course, he would be plotting this whole massacre of just people, and, like, people just killing each other left and right, and that blew me the fuck away. Like, there was a bunch of twists that happened in that fucking, that whole arc, and the death of Grimmer, there's this character that you're also going to meet in the anime, his name is Grimmer. He has a really good backstory. He has a really good relationship with Tenma at one point. You really feel a good, decent bond between them. And, oh my god, his death just fucking broke my heart, bro. Oh my god, he dies. I'm like, no. Why? Why? Why did he have to die? No. And hell, this anime does not hold... has freaking, like, it kills off characters. The story is like not afraid to kill off any of its characters. It kills off a bunch of characters. Grimmer was one of them. Oh god. He kills like they killed off a bunch of characters. I'm trying to think of a few that comes off the top of my head at least. Oh, there's one character named oh my god. He was towards the end of the anime. God, what was his name? Oh, but he was this guy that, you know, he protected Ava at one point, and you know, Ava and him started having like a good relationship at some point, and I forgot. His name just, you know, disappeared out of my brain. But he was a pretty good character. They killed him off. I'm like, damn, really gotta do him like that? Yeah, hell, they even killed off this one villain in the anime called the Baby. I'm like, wow, they killed off a bunch of people in this anime. Like, this anime is just no holds barred. No holds barred. Fucking kills people. Bang. You dead. Yeah, like there's just so many twists in the story of the anime that'll just keep you intrigued and keep you hooked. But going back to the pacing, I keep going off track of that. The pacing of the anime will be very slow, but you know, it will pick up eventually in the long run. And I'm telling you, people, the story is just so worth it that, you know, you're not even going to notice the slow pacing because it's just that great. It's that great of a story that the pacing doesn't really matter as long as, you know, it progresses and it has a huge twist at the end of each episode. It's going to keep you hooked regardless. So, in that regard, just watch Monster. Like, in that regard, just watch Monster. It's that good of it's so good. Even if it's like so outdated, like the animation's very old, and the character design or character models is just reused a bunch of times. No matter what, it's gonna keep you engaged. It's gonna keep you hooked, and it doesn't. The crappy animation. In fact, I'll take that back. Actually, the animation does get really good towards towards the end of the anime. It ends up getting really good, but the art is just great. But the character models and animation just meh. You know, no matter what, you're gonna get a kick out of Monster. It's that great of an anime. I will keep this anime in high regard as one of the best animes I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's why it deserves a 10 out of 10. It's that great of a story. Oh, I know I was gonna mention before. The ending. Was I upset that they kept Johan alive? Honestly, not really. And I would say the reason that they actually ended up keeping Johan was that it's kind of like, I think the whole theme of the anime was there's always a monster inside each and every one of us. There's always a dark side. There's always, you know, you have to have evil and good, and there has to be a balance between both evil and good. And Johan was basically the monster that they always like. He is like the monster. The monster is a symbolism of the anime, and Johan is, you know, the monster. And I feel like they kept him alive because, you know, there has to be a balance. And I feel like I felt like it was kind of funny because it basically started where it kind of began. The anime started with, you know, Kenzo saving his life, and at the end, guess what Kenzo does? He saves his life again. And, you know, I do believe that, you know, with proper authorities, he'll be arrested and put to jail. Or they actually revealed towards, like, the end of the credits that, oh, he's gone. So Johan, like, vanished, he's disappeared, and, you know, I do like the ending for the anime. Hell, you even see his mother at the end. And in the final episode, you see his mother. And I'm like, wow, great. That's awesome. Great. I've been going on for way too long. That's all I really want to say, you know. The ending to me was very satisfying. You know, it was a satisfying conclusion to an epic masterpiece. That is Monster in a nutshell. And that's going to wrap this video up, people of YouTube. Sorry for it to be way too long, but I just had a lot of things to say about Monster. You know, more spoilery-esque things. The anime is just chocked filled with just amazing story goodness. Go watch Monster. It is definitely a 10 out of 10. Watch Monster. Woo! So, what did you guys think about Monster? Leave a comment down below. And, now if you excuse me, I'm gonna lie now. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Bye. Peace, people of YouTube. Desire the Crimson Assassin. Once again, signing out. Stay tuned. More reviews in the future. Hopefully ReZero next week. ReZero is going to be my next anime review. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to finish it. Regardless. I have a day off tomorrow. I could try to watch it. I don't care. I'll watch it. Yeah. Okay. Bye.